Okay. We are in the building. I don't know why that's up there. Hold on a minute here. All right, close this. Hold on, people. I know I've been away for a minute, so you know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me get this out of here real quick. All right, okay. All right, okay. As you can see, I got a new background. Hold on. I got a new background. Let me show you my new intro, cause yes, this is politics as usual with your boy Juice Warner. Oh, Joe Gritty. Don't forget to check out my book, Street Skelsy, Knock 'em Out the Box, and also check out some junkie apparel. You know, that's if you want to show support. I don't ask for no monetary, funding through YouTube. My situation's in YouTube, but never gonna get along. And I wouldn't ask you anyway like that. I wouldn't ask for anything that I'm not providing. I don't want you to ever walk away with nothing. You know what I mean? So if you want to support me, you do it by going through these avenues right here, and I'll be much appreciative. All right? All right. So we're about to get into this. As you know, I've been away for a minute. Let me turn this down in my ears, right? So I've been away for a minute. I've been working on putting this final project together. Now, this final project is going to take like 6 months of information for y'all. So I'll be going through 6 months of information. Now, inside this information, this is the most vitalist technology. I'm gonna be addressing technology and how it actually works, and I'm gonna point out the culprits and how we can go beyond reparations. Beyond any of those people who are actually working to distract us. We're gonna go beyond them. We're going to go beyond them after you understand what I'm saying, because you'll understand that they are part of that whole system, with the double talk and all of that. We'll get into this. You'll understand exactly what I am saying by December. And after that, I'm gonna open my lines. I'm gonna run it more like a regular podcast where people can interact and those type of things, and I'll be talking on a more modern subject, because you'll be up to date on what I know and see as the operation of technology. You know what I mean? So with that being said, we'll be getting into that. But let me slide up to this next part right here. All right. Go over to the news. All right. Okay. So, like I said, I'll be doing these, during the course of it. But after everything, like I said, after December, you will understand a lot of the stuff that I say and I bring up. Billionaire Elon Musk. My fault. I wasn't. That's the my titles. So let me go into the headlines. Now this is out of The Hill, right? Twitter faces the nightmare of being forced into free speech. Twitter board of directors gathered this week to sign what sounds like a suicide pact. It unanimously voted to swallow the poison pill to tank the values of the social media giant shares, rather than allow billionaire Elon Musk to buy the company. The move is one way to fend off hostile takeover. But what is different in this case is the added source of hostility. Twitter and many liberals are apologetic over Musk's call for free speech protection on the site. Right? Company broads have a fidelity duty to do what is best for shareholders, which is usually is measured in share value. Twitter has long done the opposite. It has virtually written off many conservatives in a large portion of its prospective market. With years of aberrity, censorship, and dissenting views on everything from gender identity to global warming, electric fraud, and election fraud, and the pandemic. Most recently, Twitter suspended a group like Libs of TikTok, a hateful conduct, the conduct, reposting what liberals have said about themselves. The company seemingly has written off free speech too. Twitter CEO Parag, right, has asked how Twitter would balance its efforts to combat misinformation, which wanting to protect free speech as a core value in the respect of the First Amendment. He responded dismissively that the company is not to be bound by the Fifth Amendment. It will regulate content as reflective of the things that we believe lead to a healthier public conversation, said Agarwal. Said the company would focus less on thinking about free speech because speech is easy on the internet. Most people can speak. Where our role is particularly emphasizing is who can be heard. Okay, now you heard it themselves, right? Right here. You see that. It says, focus less on thinking about free speech because speech is easy on the internet. Most people can speak. Keyword is most, right? And the idea that speech is easy on the internet is false too, because you could write anything on the internet, but in a social context where you can deal with people, no. Now it is limited. Now you can only say what we deem is correct. That's not free speech. That's a false impression of free speech by telling you that most people can speak. Where our role is particularly emphasized is who can be heard, right? You see it right there. Who can be heard? Not surprisingly, selling censorship is not a big hit with most consumers, particularly from a communication or social media company. The action of Twitter's management have led to roller coasting share values. While Twitter once reached a high of about $73 a share, it is currently around 45. Musk is offering 52.20 a share, repeating a 54% premium over the share price the day before he invested in the company. So he's willing to buy him out just so he can, speak. My thing is, at this point, I think if Elon Musk formed a social media company with this idea of free speech, shit, he could probably knock out Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of them, because all of them are dictators, right? You can only say what you want to say. Now, we can allow you to say it, but we won't allow nobody to see it. It'll be up there, but it won't circulate. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like you being ghostly blackballed. You know what I'm saying? So, notably, Musk would not trigger the poison pill if he stays below 15% ownership of the company. He could push his percent stake up to 14.9% and then negotiate with other shareholders to take greater control. Another problem is, pardon me, another problem is that Twitter long sought a private buyer under former CEO Jack Dorsey. If Musk increases his bid closer to 60, the board could face liability in putting its interest ahead of its company's shareholders. Putting aside the magical share number, Musk is right that the company's potential has been constrained by its woke management. For social media companies, free speech is not only ethical, but economically beneficial because the censorship model only works if you have an effective monopoly in which consumers have no other choice. This is how Henry Ford could tell consumers back when he controlled car making that they could have any color of Model T as long as it's black. Right? So if you understand, this is why, I do got to respect Elon Musk in this, right? Let's lighten this right here for y'all. All right. It goes, putting aside the magical share number, Musk is right that the company's potentials have been constrained by its woke management. For social media companies, free speech is not only ethical, but economically beneficial. So I wanted to address that because, like, a lot of people are not even aware that the woke community is, communism. They don't realize that the woke community is playing technology. Not that America hasn't, but I'm just telling you, don't think switching over to the woke community is better. If you cannot get the woke community is a feminist community, right? If you cannot even have a conversation with certain people because they, gaslighted and all of that, that is not a fucking system you want to have your future under. I'm sorry. Technology in that form or any form is not appropriate, but that shit is ridiculous. Right? Says woke management, the social media company, free speech and beneficial, right? Because the censorship model only works if you have an effective monopoly in which consumers have no other choice. Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, like all of these companies, if they all have this censorship, when do you really have a chance to say anything? You can't say nothing about this. You can't say nothing about that because they cornered the market. Even though these companies might come under different names, you know, most of them are affiliated with each other. So you would need to step out of that social media situation. You know, I'm on melanated people. You know, it's a slow climb over there. You know, like I wish it was a lot larger because, you know, I really wouldn't be on any of these other platforms if that platform or others like it, you know, gather more steam, you know, gather more followers. If they can get more people on those sites, I would never be on. Anybody who know me know I do not deal with, you know, white America, like in the sense of preferring to give them any standards. Like if I deal with them, I deal with them. But if I have a choice, I would prefer to deal with my people because I'm gonna still call you out. You see what I'm saying? Like it doesn't matter if you black or white or Chinese. I don't give two shits. The truth is the truth. That's what I'm really here for. So, you know, I know that when black people have eyes on them, especially within our own community, our operations are way more up and up. You understand what I'm saying? Our operations are way more up and up than what you are seeing right now. Because this is all dirty tricks and politics. Closing you off from information is politics. This is beyond just um being able to say things. It's what you can say to push an agenda and what you can't say to prevent the agenda. Because that's what's really going on. You are being psychologically forced into a thinking because you're being bombarded from all of these elements over here. You got the media, you got the radio, you got people in the streets who bought into that stuff. You see what I'm saying? You got all of this element that you got the brainwashed who believed what they saw and heard on the TV and the radio. They're going to come back onto the streets inside your conversations and bring these things up. Then you got to go back to social media, your TV shows, your radio broadcasting episodes, and they're going to promote that because they have no choice. So you will be psychologically groomed into a train of thought. That's hypnotism. And this is what I'm going to get into, how that system works, how they lock your brain in your communication off from anybody. So now you are under this common sense, the common put into. You know what I mean? Like, because it was put into all of these homes. So then the person who does not go with that becomes the outsider, and it becomes harder for them to expose the truth. So in this new system of getting into your head while not allowing anything else to come in is going to be a hell of a brainwash to get out of. That's why I'm doing the next 6 months to break down that system. So at least there would be some people who knows how to attack this and address it, like stay sharp. So I'm giving y'all, you know, just like Elon Musk, and this statement is telling you, right? That's how Henry Ford could tell customers back when he controlled car marketing that they could have any color of Model T as long as it's black. Because when they hold it all, they don't gotta negotiate with you. Let's move on here, right? This is Macron clashes with Le Pen over Islamic head handkerchief ban. All right. Let me see how much time we have before this next break. Um, let's see here. Okay, we're about to take a break in like 20 seconds. So I'm gonna let this play through. And then we come back and we get into this. All right. Macron clashes with Le Pen over Islamic headscarf ban. Crazy. Crazy. Okay. I really hope y'all like my intro and shit. I do the little, popping out of the YouTube symbol and all. I really hope you like that, man. I put a lot of energy and time into thinking that up. You know what I'm saying? So, let's get back over here to this news. All right, hold on. Put that down for y'all. It goes. Now, this is from AFP, right? President Emmanuel Macron has clashed with his rival Marine Le Pen over her plan to ban women from wearing Islamic headscarves in public, with an eye on the vote of Muslims in the second round of election. All right. This is your boy right here. All right. It goes. Is clearly aware of the importance of wooing France over 5 million Muslims who are estimated to make up almost 9% of the population. Le Pen on April 24th will seek to cause the greatest upset in modern French political history by defeating Macron in a runoff in presidential elections. While polls indicate Macron is ahead, they also point to a far tighter race between the census and the far right leading leader than their 2017 runoff. Analysts say one reason for her advanced and Le Pen's success in cultivating a more moderate image and portraying herself as the candidate best equipped to deal with problems like raising prices. But one signature hardline policy, the anti-immigration Le Pen has not dropped, is her opposition to the Islamic headscarf, saying women who wear the hijab in public in France will be fined if she wins power. That's what I tell y'all, man. I tell y'all, man, the new feminist movement, yo, sisters, y'all better get the fuck away from it. I understand the things that you did in order to get down with that. But I'm sorry to tell you people, man, that this is not a good thing. It's not going to help us. You better pay attention to this, man. They are in it. The white woman is down with it too, man. Stop thinking that she's not in this fucking movement, man. She's a part of the bullshit too. All right? meanwhile, has sought to seize, where it goes like this. My phone. Analysts say the reason, okay. But headline policies, headline National Front. It goes. Macron, meanwhile, has sought to seize of her instance to argue with Le Pen's policies are not different from those of the hardline National Front, founded by her father, Jean Marie. He has also presented himself as a defender of religious freedom, insisting that any ban on the vow would constitutionally mean that all religious signs must be banned, including kipper in the cross. Okay. Yeah. You want to be the first visiting eastern cities of Starburg on Tuesday? Macron, during a walkout to meet voters, asked a veiled woman if she was wearing the headscarf by choice or obligation. Now you see right here, this is what I mean. This is how they went into um this is how they went into like the Middle East, and you see all of those wars that took place. It was with this logic right here. You know, walk about and meet voters asking a veiled woman if she was wearing the headscarf by choice or obligation. Right? Let's change this up. Put this to like a green for you, right? If she was wearing the headscarf by choice or obligation. Trick knowledge. Trick knowledge. Believe it or not, that's trick knowledge right there. It's by choice, totally by choice, said the woman who proudly declared she was a feminist. Macron replied, it's clear reference to Le Pen's plan. This is the best response to the rubbish that I have been hearing. See? She's expecting to have a different trigger. She's expecting her to say that she's some type of feminist and that she's being oppressed by this male deity, basically, right? Because Allah, God, or whatever, they had attack with that. That's why when they show you the pictures and tell you, oh yeah, this right, a man's penis is really a vagina, and listen, those are psychological attacks on your brain. You might not know it, but those are attacks. Next thing you know, especially as you say it and the youth hear it, they grow up thinking that and believing that. So then they start thinking that yeah, they women or came from a woman and this, that, and the third. And so it's gonna take 1,000 years for somebody to break them out that spell if I don't do this now. That's why I'm doing it. He went even further on Tuesday during a visit to the northern part of Lahore. There is not a single country in the world that bans the headscarf in public. Do you want to be the first? You better pay attention. That's all I'm telling you, man. You better pay attention to the bullshit. Let me light up here real quick. You know what I mean? All right, all right. About to get into this Bill Maher. All right, hold on. Let me start my clock back up. My clock didn't start. Hold on. Um, Okay, so the clock is running now. Uh, Bill Maher says everyone in the Bible has slaves. Ask, should we cancel God? Now, I don't think that Bill Maher. See, a lot of times you got to question, are people aware that they are, like, some people agree with the move, right? So they don't have a problem promoting it. Other people are not even aware that they're being shifted in the move because the move will come at so many attacks. They'll tell you that the Democrats, a Republic, I mean, what you say, the woke community, the communists, right? But the Republican Party is that as well. They promote it in this way as well. Because the attack is on that old way. God, male, switching over to a feminist God and, goddess, or that's what they think. That's the ill part. That's what they think. They are being used in a situation that they say they was robbed the first time. Mary Magdalene, was supposed to be a split in the church. It's supposed to be the women and the men, but they feel like they was shorted, and so this is the takeover. I'll get into the story. Oh, once you find out, you're gonna understand. So the women are being used to cause the distension, like this conflict, and push it along, right, under this promise. Under this promise. Bill Maher, adulting. The comedian latest special for HBO pretty much wades through the same polluted waters it does on his late night Friday show, Real Talk. Trash talking Democrats while also condemning Republicans. Picking my fault. Once I start smoking, you know how I do. I'm gonna have to take a pull and call this and put this aside real quick. Right? Okay, so we here now. Forgive me, I'm over here seeing if my pardon me, I want to make sure that it's not being picked up. I got music playing in the background, so I'm trying to make sure it's not being picked up. Right? So, real time trash talk, condemning Republicans, picking on chubby people, insisting masks are useless during a pandemic. It should come as no surprise to his loyal fans finding a reason not to believe in God. And of course, making some jokes he made several times before. Yes, adulting leaves us with a cornucopia of things to talk about. But let's dive into religion, shall we? After urging the Democrat Party to stop being a party of no common sense, which is true, to start standing up to the people who wake up offended and live on Twitter and enduring things and sounded like a headline on the Onion. Mar charged into another one of his favorite topics, cancel culture. And who better to point to than Abraham Lincoln and God? It's Easter weekend, right? It says, this about always revisiting the past historical people who don't share your current woke mentality, he said of cancel culture. What a cheap way to look enlightened and big yourself up. Abraham Lincoln isn't good enough for you. Hmm. Maul, I can't argue with that. Maul brought up an issue that began in 2015 when black students in the University of Wisconsin-Madison called for the removal of a statue of President Lincoln that sat near its law school. An idea ultimately rejected because the idea of it was too extreme that blew over quickly. But in 2020, the Black Student Union and the Student Inclusion Coalition supports the removal. This is why I told you he's there to only sway certain people. You understand what I'm saying? Like the attack comes from, so remember, I said it's about beating you in the head. And that's what you say, don't beat me in the head. Right? So if you are not able to see the distinction in talk and writing and the underlying message, because the underlying message is the suggestive message. I'm just letting you know. Yeah, Lincoln said some racist things, Mars said, adding that every white person in 1860 Columbus had slaves. So did everyone in 1492 who could afford it, including people of color in other parts of the world. You know who else had slaves? Everyone in the Bible. Should we cancel God? So inside this, you should be able to see the double talk, right? How you can pull things in to make an argument to dead an argument. Meaning that, right? I'm going to show you. Said some racist things, right? Okay, yeah, we can acknowledge that he said some racist things, right? Ma said, adding that this is where you make it small, a minute thing, right? Every white person in 1860 Columbus had slaves. So did everyone in 1492 who could afford it, including black people of color in other parts of the world. So he's using this other things as in justifying what white people did. And then included black people in it. And then we'll have a bunch of black people who will take that bit of information and bring it back in the hood and cause a confusion with the people. You see, because now you have a group of people who want to be around white people so they can use that argument. Yeah, but black people had slaves in 1492. You understand what I'm saying? So these little things that's put out there is meant to be grabbed to push the machine forward. You know who else had slaves? Everyone in the Bible, right? Should we can't now? Remember, he went from a minute to an extreme because he knows society is built on the concept of God. It's built within the nation. People would tell you that this is a Christian nation. So it's built within the nation. So he knows the mind game inside of that statement. That's technology, right? Black child's teacher accused of cutting his afro off, right? A Minnesota-based parent claims that a teacher cut their children's hair off. Prior to the alleged incident, the child had an afro. Now the child has a close cropped hair. My son's teacher decided, right, during hours, I'm livid, right? Son's teacher decided to cut his afro into a style during school hours. Which style is that? Which style is that? I'm gonna save what I gotta say for after, okay? Daily Dot Black teacher accused of cutting his afro off, right? Posted a video of the aftermath of the incident showing the child's short hair. The video currently has almost 1 million views. My son's teacher decided to cut his afro into a style during school hours. I'm livid. The text, the overlay on the video reads. It is unclear what actually led to the incident, but in comment sections, Tattle said they've reached out to the police. An officer told me it was a miscommunication, not assault, or any criminal charges could be filed. Tadwell said the charges could not be filed because their 12-year-old son gave consent. The parent said, listen to this, man. Kids have to get permission from parents in all states to go on field trips and to participate in any functions at school and church, one user said. He's a child, said another. Teachers are not allowed to do anything to kids without parents' permission. Don't justify them. Do something. T-Bow said the police told them to deal with it through the school. However, said they weren't informed of their haircut before it occurred, only after it had already happened. I never got an email call or a text about my son's teacher cutting his hair, they said in a comment. There has been many news stories in recent years about children getting forcible haircuts in school. In September of 2021, a black Indianapolis student allegedly received a forcible haircut from a teacher after other students made fun of his hair. A similar incident reportedly happened in April of that year, in which a school librarian allegedly force cut a biracial student hair. And in 2018, a California teacher lost her job and received 6 months criminal misdemeanor charges after allegedly pressuring a student into a haircut. Later claimed that they were seeking legal representation and had pulled their child out of school for the time being. I think those of you asking if he's okay and knowing this isn't a joke, they said in the comments section, if anyone has any leads to a lawyer who can help me, I would be appreciative. I would appreciate it. Howell did not immediately respond to Daily Dot's request for comments via TikTok comments and Instagram direct message. Right? So You see it, you see it. Like on my old Facebook pages, I tell you about the hair situation, the attack. I tell you about I always bring up the couple out in Brazil who wanted to give their child an African name. And Brazil, the country, the government told them, nah, you can't do that. So the attack on African identity, black people, is real. It's a real thing. Like you don't have to believe it. You can or you don't have to. It's on you, but it's a real thing. It's very much real. You know. Let's go. This is why I support the young lady here. Rashida Tlaib slams wrong cruel storming of Al Aqsa Mosque by Israeli police. All right. Rashida Tlaib denounced Israel's police violent storming of the mosque during the holy month of Ramadan, calling the action wrong and cruel. Every Friday, as thousands of worshipers were gathering, or no, early, as I said, I was wondering, it's early Friday, as thousands of worshipers were gathering at the holy site for morning prayer, Israel police fired tear gas and stun grenades on the mosque compound and entered the building and arrested hundreds of Palestinians, right? The Associated Press reported. Israeli authorities said young Palestinians had thrown rocks towards a gate leading to the Western Wall and scared Jewish prayer space. Palestinian witnesses told the news outlet a small group had thrown rocks at Israeli police, who then went on to attack the compound. Y'all better listen. You go to my old articles, right? Few weeks back before I had to take the break, right? And you see, I was covering a lot of Israel, the war. I told you that Israel is bringing in Ukrainians, right? Because the Ukrainians are the hackers. Like, they do the computer stuff. They actually already work with Israelis. So Israel also put in a ban for Palestinians, like basically to make way to start kicking them out. So when you see what is taking place right now, and you understand the grip, because they are the masters of this. You understand what I'm saying? They are the masters. They are the technologists. I said it. Israeli authorities said young Palestinians at the compound. So medics with the Palestinian Red Crescent said over 150 Palestinians were injured. Reports Al Jazeera, Israel authorities said over 300 people were detained. It is simply wrong, cruel to attack a people in their sacred place of worship. Right, hold on. Right, in their sacred place of worship. Where we at? Right here, right? Tlaib, who is Palestinian, said in a tweet last Friday, I am tired of our country enabling violence and violations of internal human rights with silence and unconditional aid. That's right. Support to the sister. I'm not Palestinian. I'm not Muslim. You know what I mean? But I do know what the beef is over. And because I understand what that beef is over, it's what it is, man. I gotta support the people. Right? Okay, okay. So let's get back into this story. You need to understand what's going on here, right? Almost a year ago, Israel forces mounted a similar attack on worshippers in Al As. I'm sorry, man. I told you I'm not Muslim, so during Ramadan, it sparked a deadly 11-day conflict in which Hamas launched rockets into Israel, killing 12 people. In Israel, launched airstrikes in Gaza, killing over 240 Palestinians. Right? Police said the mosque was reopened in time for Friday midday prayer, according to the AP. Thousands more worshipers were expected. It is the start of the Holy Week in Jerusalem, with Ramadan for Muslims coinciding with the start of Pashish for Jews and upcoming Easter for Christians. So this is the conflict right here. Hold on. All right, hold on. Let me stop this. Okay. I was playing Tupac in the background. I don't want them to um you know flag me or shit. You know? So let me start this clock again. I'm sorry, I gotta do it manually because I forgot to set it um like a trigger for it. Anyway, let's get into this right here. Police said the mosque was reopening in time for Friday, right? Okay. Easter, right? Talib tweets specifically denounced unconstitutional aid from the U.S. to Israel forces. Last year, just days after the deadly conflict, Biden approved over 700 million in arms sales to Israel. I told y'all what America is really under, what rule America is really under. So, I'm gonna do a whole thing. I had actually made a post on it the other day, so I'm gonna do a whole video on it. It goes. Debo Samuel says he's received death threats, racist messages over contract situation. The wide receiver market episode this season. No, market exploded this season. Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams weren't getting the money they thought they were worth. So other teams happily traded for them and backed up the Brink truck. Those two transactions cause us to look at other young wide receivers who are due for new contracts. Last month, ESPN reported that the New York Jets were keeping an eye on DK Metcalf, AJ Brown, and DJ and Debo Samuels for a potential trade. Out of those three, Samuels seemed like the most untouchable, right? He's coming off a career year in which he caught 77 passes for 1,400 yards and 6 touchdowns. He was also used as a running back for the San Francisco 49ers, rushing 59 times for 365 yards and 8 more touchdowns. Samuel proved himself as one of the best wide receivers in the NFL this past season, and his versatility is special. With the money Hill and Adams received recently, however, the stakes have been raised, and it's no longer a sure thing Samuel will get that extension from the 49ers. Earlier this month, Samuel unfollowed the 49ers on social media while also deleting over 80 posts from his Instagram account. Then there was this. Okay. Let's get into Hamas seeks to bolster its image as defenders of Jerusalem. Hamas has once again emerged as a major party in events taking place in Jerusalem and the West Bank. Since last year's war with Israel, Hamas has sought to portray itself as the sole defender of Jerusalem and the Islamic holy sites. I can agree with them. I can agree. I don't see anybody else defending Islam within Israel. I don't see nobody else stepping up to that plate. So I gotta agree with them on that. Like, I don't see nobody saying, "Hey, you know what? We're gonna defend that too." Nah, they're the only ones coming up to the plate and being the global bad guys for having the right to be someplace. It has also been working hard to prove that the recent wave of terror attacks in Israel and in Jerusalem and the West Bank are the direct result of Hamas' daily calls for stepping up the resistance against Israel. At the same time, Hamas has been keen to ensure that the violence does not spread to the Gaza Strip. Although Hamas officials on Sunday denied reaching a deal with Israel to prevent an all-out confrontation following Friday's riot right at the mosque compound, the Temple Mount, they nevertheless confirmed that they had held indirect negotiations with the Israeli government over the past few days. Can't knock that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you wanna, get in this game, you gotta be versatile. You gotta be willing to go to the table to prove that your enemy is just talking. He's really about the bullshit. So every time y'all do something, they do something, you wanna come to the table, cool. But all this proving it, like, for me, the Palestinians are like blacks in America. That's how I look at them. That's how I look at the Palestinians over there. So, it's not for me to argue with you or what you see. You know what I mean? That's just how I see it. So, here we go. Forces during clashes in the holy month of Ramadan at the Al Aqsa Mosque compound, Jerusalem. Right. This is now. I'm gonna say like this. I don't see Hamas letting this ride. So if you thinking that they became political to the point that they not gonna ride for their people, nah. I think I just feel like this is gonna be a retaliation right after Ramadan is over. If true, these contacts show that the mediators considered Hamas an influential actor in the Palestinian arena. That means that they earning respect. I gotta respect that. I gotta respect that. Right? Goes. On Tuesday night, senior Hamas, right, officials, Sila, right, I'm sorry, I don't be getting these names. I'm not Muslim. I don't speak Arabic. Claimed that Israel had assured his group that it would not follow Jews to conduct the animal sacrifice in the courtyard of the mosque. On Tuesday, senior Hamas officials, right, claimed that Israel had assured his group that it would not allow Jews to conduct the animal sacrifice in the courtyard of the mosque, right? Said, Aruri said, however, that despite the alleged undertaking, which was reportedly relayed through Egypt, Qatar, and other parties, Hamas does not trust Israel. He called on the Palestinians to remain in a state of high alert to defend, right? Mosque in Jerusalem. I feel him. I feel him. You stay alert, people. You know what I mean? These devils, they here for a reason. They doing it for a reason. You know? Hours after the statement, Hamas supporters gathered at the site and began preparation for purport attempts by Jews to storm into the mosque. Right, the Jews are planning to storm in the mosque. As part of the preparation, Hamas supporters brought stones, iron bars, and fireworks into the mosque. They were joined by dozens of men who are not necessarily affiliated with Hamas. After the clash began, Hamas leader who is based in Qatar, found himself at the center of a flurry of diplomatic activity to avert another war in Israel. After holding a series of phone calls with senior Egyptian intelligence officials, right, said was contacted by the United Nations special coordinators for the Middle East peace process, right, whatever the Winslin, and Qatari Foreign Minister Mohammed bin Ab. Forgive me, people, man. I know Muhammad. I know how to say Muhammad. In midday Saturday, it was unclear whether the Palestinian authorities had played a significant role, if any, in these discussions. According to some reports, right, presented to the mediators, Hamas conditions for easing the tension. These include allowing free access to Muslim worshippers at the mosque compound, ending animal sacrifice rituals in Israel, killing and assassination in the West Bank, and releasing the Palestinians who were arrested by Israeli security forces earlier that day. Right? Let's read that again for y'all so maybe y'all can understand what's being said here. All right? Right? According to some reports, right, presented to the mediators Hamas's conditions for easing the tensions. These include allowing free access for Muslim worshippers to the mosque. That shouldn't even be, a problem. Compound. Ending the animal sacrifice ritual in Israel, right? This is what they consider the animal sacrifice, killing and assassinations in the West Bank. The releasing the Palestinians who were arrested by Israel's security forces earlier in the day. Right? So now you see this. The release of several detainees late Friday and the reopening of the Al Jalami checkpoint to Israel Arabs wishing to enter Jenin on Saturday sparked rumors that Israel and Hamas had reached a new truce agreement. But several Hamas officials were quick to deny the rumors in an apparent attempt to avoid being accused by Palestinians of making concessions with Jerusalem and the Al Mosque. Yeah, I feel it. No, hold on. Don't put that on us. Don't put that on us. Right? Zahir Jabrin, a member of Hamas, Politburo, said that the reports in the Arab and Israeli media concerning the truce agreement were baseless and untrue. Right? So it goes, the obstacles and the occupation won't deter us from defending Jerusalem and the mosque against its ongoing terrorism and the extremist settlers, said in a statement, our people and their resistance will always remain ready to defend Jerusalem and the mosque. Another senior Hamas official said in a separate remark that his group message to all the mediators were clear, namely that Jerusalem and Al Mosque are a red line. Rasik to claim that a number of countries in the U.S. communicated with Hamas because they feared an escalation of the situation during the holy month of Ramadan due to occupation violations and ongoing crime in Jerusalem and the mosque. I'm sorry if I keep saying Aksik. I'm sorry, I don't want to say it wrong. That's why I'm not saying it at all. Like I don't want to sound like I'm offending you. You know what I mean? So Hamas officials added, our message to the mediators was that any provocation against our people and their holy sites will meet with confrontation, and that although we do not seek a new war, the resistance factions in the Gaza Strip are following all developments and their fingers are on the trigger. Even after reports and rumors about the new truce deal are inaccurate or false, what is certain is that Hamas has once again shown that there is no ignoring its role in events taking place in Jerusalem and the West Bank. Hamas convinced that the 2021 war with Israel forced the Israeli government to abandon plans to evict a number of Palestinian families from their homes in the East Jerusalem neighborhood of Sheikh Jarrah. I guess that's some Jewish thing, so I don't know how to pronounce. I don't speak Yiddish either. I believe they speak Yiddish, right? Um, Now Hamas wants the Palestinian public to believe its threats over the past days had forced Israel to make concessions to the Palestinians in Jerusalem and the West Bank. Right? It goes in a message directed to Palestinians on Friday, right? The person sought to demonstrate that Hamas holds the key to both peace and war. He also strove to bolster Hamas' image as the only party capable of defending Jerusalem and Al-Mosque. We, the Palestinian people in the Islamic nation, are the ones who decide, said. And our decision is to defend and protect the blessed mosque at all costs. More power to you people. You know what I'm saying? I understand what you're up against. And so I would never talk ill of anybody defending themselves. You know, I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry. So let's go over here. LA County Sheriff rips liberal prosecutor George Gassion. Unless you're a Black Lives Matter activist, you don't exist. Did the cops? I tell you, the psychology of these people, man, is ill. You got to understand wordplay and all of that, right? Alex, the villain. I'm gonna just call him the villain, right? U.S. County Sheriff slams Los Angeles DA George Gassion for fostering a climate where homeless and drug abuse, and make this in red for y'all, right? Homeless and drug abuse are sprawling out of control on Tucker Carlson's Tonight. Villain told host Tucker Carlson that there is no serious public support for Garrison's policies. Right? I've had one conversation with him. That was the first week in office where we had an issue of mutual concerns on a case, one particular case, but his procedures, we met every 3 months. I met her in her office. She met me in my office. We shared concerns exactly what. Throw my ad back up there real quick. This is politics as usual. Oh, y'all gritty with your boy Juice Warner. Don't forget to check out my book, Street Skelzy, Knock 'em Out the Box. Also, check out some junky apparel. So me, and support your boy. This is how, I plan, allow people to support me by actually walking away with something. I won't put a PayPal or none of that up there. I don't, do that. If you want to support me, this is how you support me. You know what I mean? Because I spent a lot of time writing that fucking book. And I want people to read it. I don't, just listening to me, it's nothing. I want you to read the book. You know what I'm saying? I spent time on that book. I went through a riot getting that book home. You understand what I'm saying? I just got to stress that I went through a lot to get this book home. You know what I mean? So for me, you know, I do this and put that there. My graphics and all of that. I put time and energy into that. You know what I mean? The thought, into it. So that's how you support me. This information is not my information. I'm just giving it to you. You know what I mean? My information be those separate things. When I do news, this is the world. I didn't give you this. This is already out there. You understand what I'm saying? So if you want to support me, don't forget, this is how you can get up with me, you know, Old Jaw Gritty, you know what I'm saying? Don't forget Street Skelzy, Knock 'em Out the Box, the book, you know what I'm saying? And, some junkies, apparel, you know what I'm saying? Social media junkies, check us out. All right. Let's go back over here to this news real quick. All right. Okay. So Alex, villain. I've had one conversation. Well, he goes with him. That was his first week in office, where we had an issue of mutual concern on a case, one particular case. But his predecessor, we met every 3 months. I met her in her office. She met me in my office. We shared concerns, exactly what you're saying we did. With this gentleman, unless you come from the public defender's office, you were a Black Lives Matter activist. Those are about the only people he's speaking to. Everyone else just doesn't exist in his world. Yeah, that's not gonna work, Mr. DA. Sorry, I don't agree with this guy in his dislike for black people. That's what I'm hearing in that. You know what I mean? This mentioning Black Lives Matter activists, and those are those undertones that you got to listen for. Hold on, let me check this. Got to check real quick. Okay. Yeah. So let's go to the next situation. Business owners, council members respond to Seattle mayor push to act on encampments. All right. Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell has put Seattle City Council on notice to clear up crime in around homeless compounds. All right, understand this. Remember what just happened in New York, up in New York, with the guy shooting, which is very suspect. I'm probably like the first person who pointed that out. Like I literally seen it come across my thing. I've read the article and I said, "Yo, what's going on here?" Right. So, me, I'm still with that. I'm still calling for an investigation into that. Like I'm not believing that man did it at this point. At this point, I need him to like literally say, "Yeah, that's me in that video," and all of that in order for me to believe that. And I need him, even if they coerce him to say that, I need him to explain how the hell did he knock out the videos. Fuck how he wound up over there, old big dude, and this, that, and the third. How did you knock out them surveillance cameras? But let's get back to the story here, right? Goes. This week, Harold said new data directly connects encampment with a growing number of shootings and fires. Right? Look what they're saying, right? As poverty grows, right? As more people, especially in California and all of that, are being placed on the, I said this is Seattle, Washington, but you know, I think it the the trickle happened, in Cali, so that's why I first really started seeing it. Like, wow, this is crazy. Harold says he hopes to change the conversation with Seattle City Council and push for policy change. Homeless encampments continue to concern people who live and work in Seattle. Business owners Shayna Hicks says camps like the ones previous near Dexter Avenue and Mercer Street in Seattle have led to an alarming spike in crime, including shootings and stabbings. Hicks says homeless campers did nearly $15,000 in damage to her business, saying they tried to break into her store at least 10 times. She's relieved that camp had been cleared away, but many other camps still remain. Harold revealed that new numbers shared Tuesday show a drastic increase in shootings and fires connected to Seattle's homeless camps. According to Seattle police, in the first part of the year, more than 42% of the shootings calls they received were linked to encampments. Harold says the data called for police policy changes. My fault. When when officers prepare for the prepares for the budget, the mayor says he'll give city councils reason to take urgent action with long-term results in mind. There's a difference between public safety strategies and a homeless strategy, and there are overlapping circles in that approach, said Harold. But for us, is going to be about sustainability, looking at the resources, looking at all the assets of the city. It's going to take a lot of work and some new, fresh ideas, and I hope he got it, said Hicks. KOMO News was waiting to hear more specific details about the mayor's plan to deal with homeless camps in Seattle. The mayor says he's working to share public dashboard soon that will lay out specific metrics about the city's efforts to address homelessness. He's also pushing to hire more police officers. Now look at this right here, right? Efforts, right? Let's just stop right there. And let's say, dealing with the efforts to address homelessness. Ending with that, right? They come in with, he also pushing to hire more police officers in response. If you could see, my fault, the hands, if you could see the joint talk here, right? On Friday, the mayor's office shared a statement stating The city has made over 300 referrals to shelters and removed 30 encampments. Mayor Harold believes the city must maintain and restore sidewalks, streets, parks, and playfields. Public spaces should be clear and safe for use by all as intended. The clearing out is happening. Especially in the United States, the clearing out is happening. It's happening. It's real. You know, KNO, KOMO News Research out of Seattle, right? No, isn't connected in campus. It goes regarding homeless changes push. Right now, I have an encampment that's growing in an Entebbe neighborhood, said Council Member Andrew Lewis. Lewis said the new data about crime connected to the encampment is surprising. As for the mayor's plan to take more urgent action on homeless encampments, Lewis said, I think that Mayor Harrow is largely in agreement. These his campaign on creating 2,000 shelter spaces for people to live in so they don't only have encampments as a place to live. I agree with that. Lewis went on to say, we went to make sure that people, instead of getting displaced and camping in other places, they are going to live in tiny house villages or just care village or someplace like that. Let's see. That's what we're going to work on. Like, I'm gonna look into this. I don't know what a tiny. I know what a tiny house village is. I seen those on I forgot where it was, like something, but that shit was like some. It was very disrespectful. I mean, I just feel it could have had a lot. It could have at least been double the space that they was offering. You know, it's just crazy. It was like a street jail cell type shit. It was like crazy. Or Just Care Village. I don't know what that is, right? So I'm gonna look into that. Um, so that was the end of our reports. Like, that was the last one. I think I still actually have a news report here, right? Hold on. Uh, um, let's see over here. Pardon me, I got two screens, so I'm bubbling to both of them, right? It goes, this is the owner of South Dakota Hotel. You want to hear? That's I'm gonna do both of them, but it goes White Reports, Meltdown. There we go. Let me bring this in for y'all. Uh, so make sure y'all see this here. It goes, White Reporter has meltdown. About to go on. Okay, yeah. White Reporter has meltdown after seeing black people at country music awards. It's not Wakanda. Oh shit! It's not Wakanda, people. This is real, man. This is from Balvidi. I hope that's how you pronounce it. Right up here. See right here. Hold on. See right there. Like Balvidi or something like that. I don't know. You probably can't see it. It don't look like it's too close to y'all. Um, I might have to copy and paste this for y'all here. Hold on, let me see here. Bring this over for y'all. Let me see. Yeah, let me copy and paste right here. Cut you, bring you down. All right, come over here. All right, paste you up in here. All right, let's come back up here. See, this is what I do, man. So I ain't really jacking somebody else shit or nothing like that. You know what I mean? Okay, read that. All right. All right. A white nationalist displayed a toddler like tantrum on his conservative show because he didn't want to see black people at the Country Music Awards. Let me say this. I'm not mad at him. I am not mad at him because that's how I feel about hip hop music. I don't want to see white people there. No Eminem. I like Eminem. Like I've actually owned literally 3 of his albums. I can go through it. He's official, but I still don't want to see him at a hip hop award show. I don't want to see. I don't mind seeing Beastie Boys there, even though I never considered them hip hop per se. That's about it though. I don't even want to see Rick Rubin there. I'm that type of asshole. I don't even want to see Rick Rubin. I don't want to see none of the people who made hip hop commercial. So, Ivy, I think that's his name, and all of these people, yeah, you could say that you made all of these people millions and they can give you this praise, but I won't because I didn't, because of that, because of you being able to pay to get them, you've also paid to rob the whole thing away. Because all of them people still got to go back to you and give you this props. That's why when I sing battle rap, I'm an MC. I love, hip hop. So I'm an MC, right? And so when I, battle rap, I'm a battle MC by, nature. Cockiness, not necessarily in shit talking, but I'm not that type of shit talker. Yo, I slap you and I'm not that type. I talk shit, but I don't find that a comfortable, approach. But I like listening to it. I like, what I'm saying? It's fun. What I'm saying? I love that shit. But, right, I also notice how you have these other groups, right? And what they did is these white factions of it, right, who started this, grabbed artists from, I'm about to take this break. Right, I'm going to get into that when we come back. How they basically robbed, hip hop by paying you. They paid you to steal the culture. And now we got people in there who, because they paid, meaning that, yeah, they got the numbers, right? That's hip hop. And you can't so Remy Ma can't even say somebody is not hip hop because they paid their weight in it. It's crazy. right? Okay. So, like, basically, that's my beef. Is like we allow people to come into our culture because they got what we want, believe we want. Right? We believe we want the money, right? Because the money will allow the people around us to be happy, right? Because they're consumers. So they turn you into a consumer, right? And so then being a consumer, they turned around, they knew you was a consumer, and they sell you, right, what they paid somebody else to give you, meaning Versace, Gucci, right? Liquor, you know, the what do you call that shit? Um Pastor Cavassier and you know, these type of things, you put on a market, right? So you was in a whirlwind. The people you like, the idol, that's why they tell you don't idolize, right? Because they're in it to get themselves right. And so that's why when you hear somebody say, I sold my soul to the devil when the price was cheap, because look at all of the damage you did by buying into that. It's a strange cycle, right? So, you know, I'm protective of anything that comes out of our community. And it's not like a racist thing. It's because I understand with any other culture, they're going to do the same thing. Jamaicans are going to protect reggae. That's just it. Country music has a right to defend country and whatever it was. We came out with rock and roll and let it go. We did not defend it. So now you got all of these undertitles under that same genre, heavy metal, right? You got the soft rock, hard rock, right? Right, all of this from something that you did not protect. So whatever, like if it's drill, I say, hey man, don't let them come and take that from you. Keep it what it is. All you got to do is just clean it up. Meaning that you know, take out that gang element. You know, the you know people my age don't know what was really going on. They don't know about Woo and Chew. They don't know about the unification of gangs that wasn't even supposed to even be around each other in this making the formation of these mega gangs, right? This East Coast and West Coast gang collabos, Crips and Bloods going up against other groups and this, that, and the third, right? They don't know that. So they thinking drill music is what it is. Nah, drill music is just another a shorter and quicker dialogue of expression. It's still hip hop. They only coming at it because they don't understand that it's they're associating the hip hop aspect with the streets, which they are the same. You know, that's how hip hop started. You know what I mean? In itself, from the streets with these same elements. They just got older, so they don't understand y'all. They, you know what I mean? They not in tune. You know what I mean? So I don't come hard on the youth. I just be like, yo, listen, man, stay alert, man. You got bigger problems, man. You got bigger problems than what they're training you to worry about. And since the olders don't know, they don't know how to approach that situation and talk to you because they don't know the internals. So when you say, nah, you don't understand, you are right. But they're right too. The adults are right. They telling you, nah, you don't understand. No matter what little structure they put in front of you, whatever new concept that they came up to cause y'all to have new beefs that others can't identify, that should happen with us too. Yeah, those paperwork are passed out, and that's how we got the organizations and the things that we got in our community. The Bloods and the Crips, the Vice Lords, and people, folk, and all. How the fuck you think all of that shit happened? That should happen because of these little papers that popped up. These little here you got to do this, and so nobody understands that. Even in my generation. So it's hard for them to explain that to you because they don't even know how it happened to them. They still celebrating their old ignorance, you know? So I'm just telling you, whatever the new thing is from that point on, handle it just how white people handle whenever they got something and they don't want you around. So I'm not mad at them. I'm like, hey, I feel you, bro. I feel you. You know what I'm saying? It goes, a white nationalist displayed a toddler. Where it goes, right? I don't know. It go. Well, I'll read it again. It goes, a white nationalist displayed a toddler-like tantrum on his conservative show because he didn't want to see black people at the Country Music Awards. Patrick Howley, the right-wing reporter, first proved his ignorance when he failed to recognize the host of the show, Anthony Mackie. I don't know him either. I don't have to. I don't think that's what his point is. Okay. I don't know who this black guy is. Who's hosting? Who's hosting it? It's supposed to be a country music. It's better white. The bitter white man said as he showed a clip of the award show and his viewers. No offense, y'all have hip hop basketball. Just fly with your flock, bro. Not mad at you. Not mad at you. The 90-minute post on Twitter captured much more than the white man's shameless behavior. The melanated people invented country music, he said, while mocking black people. We was making country music in Wakanda before Johnny Cash and Merle Hargerd done stole the black man's country music. Now that's like a mixture of getting at the woke community and a mixture of Little Richard. If you know me and you know how I feel about the woke community, he gave a perfect example. I might run with that from now on. Cause I listen, my opinion of the woke community is Little Richard. So there you go. There you go. It's ironic that he says this, right? Because, I'm just being honest there, right? It goes, still clueless to it goes like this, melanated people with better music. Still the coolest conversation pundit continued to dig himself into a deeper hole. There were so many black people there, he said. Sorry to say, but so many black celebrities who have nothing to do with country music. And it's like, why? In typical racist behavior, the talking head tried to prove that he liked some black people. No disrespect to the Funky Brothers, he said. I love Earth, Wind and Fire, Run DMC, etc. But country music's different. Country music's different. It's not Wakanda. Oh shit. Oh, listen, man. He's just like reversing black talk, right? Mackey, who was recognized for his role as Captain American, Captain American, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, spoke about his love for country music, especially highlighting Kenny Rogers, Dolly Parton, and Willie Nelson. Okay, I know all of them. I like Willie Nelson, To All the Girls I Loved Before. And it's Kenny Rogers, right? Who traveled in and out my door. I dedicate this song to the girls that came along, to all the girls I loved before. Yeah, that's Kenny Rogers and Willie Nelson. And I know Bismarck, and I want to say, was it Biz and Heavy D who made like the remix, right? I want to say that. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can pull it up for y'all. Right, this is how much you know I know this shit. You know what I mean? Right. Let's go here. Right, hold on. Right, right. Hold on, give me a second, people. Give me 1 second. You know, I be having like I be one of them people that should be on my mind and shit. I be thinking that, you know what I'm saying? It goes, um, Biz, oh, pardon me, I'm doing this with one hand. And let me see if it's come up. Um, no, my fault. It's Julio Iglesias and Willie Nelson who made that song. I thought it was Kenny Rogers. Bismarck. Is it Bismarcky to all the girls? Biz, Bismarck. Um, to all the girls I loved before. Not Bismarcky. Is it to all the girls I loved before? Um, you sure that's not bad? I could have. Or is it just Heavy D? Let me see Heavy D. Heavy D. Girls are girls. No, no. Somebody for me. I'm gonna find that shit. I know it's them, man. I'm. Watch when I find that shit. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I knew that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's. I don't think they had a video, but I know that song. And like I remember Julio. Yes, Julio. Cause yeah, I knew it was Willie Nelson. I knew that for sure. Anyway, where we at now? Willie Nelson. I'm from New Orleans, right? I really just love Rogers, Parton, Nelson music coming up because it was storytelling he told the Tennessean. The actor also raved about the growing diversity seen in country music. There is so much diversity, people from different backgrounds, males and females. It makes sense that the show should reflect what the music culture looks like now, he said. So you went through all of that and then you brought it back down at the end. Oh, shit. Yo, man, oh man. But listen, man, I don't care what they say. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. They can all be mad at you. They could say a lot of things about you. Oh, I thought I had the other screen up, so y'all never even saw this, huh? Let me see something here. Let me bring this up for y'all here. Yeah, my fault. I was looking, for the song, so I wasn't looking at the screen. I didn't realize I wasn't looking at it. So this is the article. And there it all go right there. See it? See it right there. Whatever part you didn't see is somewhere in there right there. Don't worry about it. It's there. I'm not making this up myself. That's all the part I want you to know that, the parts from me giving my commentary versus why I'm giving it. You know what I'm saying? So let's see here. Where we at? I wanted to give you the other one, but let me see what that article was before I say, nah, I'm not going to do it. Hold on a minute here. I think it was something important. All right. Let's see what this next one is. Um, let's see here. All right. All right. So we got this here. All right. So this one says the owner of a South Dakota hotel said she was banning native people. Tribal leaders quickly issued the hotel a trespassing notice citing citing in 1868, you punk bitches. Oh shit, you gotta love this one right here. Yeah, this one right here. Let me bring this up for y'all. All right. The only reason why I wasn't trying to do it is because it had all of this fucking um video and stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna just say this one tomorrow because I really, really love this article, and I want to give it its full attention. So I'm gonna just do this one tomorrow and shit. All right. Nonetheless, like I said, here's a quick rundown of the show that I will be doing. It's called The Devil's Workshop, right? When you spend all your time addressing a lie, when do you get a chance to get to the truth? Right? That's the question. And it goes, and this is what I'm out to deliver to you, which would be, right, how the elite make slaves, right? So that's what you're going to be dealing with. We're going to be dealing with hypnosis, a human condition involving attention, right? So we're going to get into this whole thing. We're going to break it down. You're going to learn the illest trick learn to man. This is going to be beyond anything that you ever dealt with. Starting tomorrow, I will be doing this. You know what I mean? So, oh yeah, not and because of that, my ending on the shows is gonna reflect the hypnosis or whatever the fuck that shit is, right? And give you a full breakdown on everything that we about to get into. So, you know, expect that. This is going, like I said, now this series is gonna be like 6 months because after I give the information, I'm gonna go through mad movies and mad songs, right? For people to truly understand. Cause I came up with this because I always try to tell people, and it was hard for me to get it across without a solid way. So I think I found a nice solid way to give it to the people. Einstein's, he was for what I'm doing. You'll find that out too. Um, from this, you are going to learn the illest game. But I don't know. I'll get into it. When we get into Einstein, we're going to get into a whole bunch of stuff. And Einstein plays a part in this as well. He plays a significant role and the approach and combating, the situation. So, like I said, these will be the things that I'll be addressing with you as we go on in this series. Legal fiction, breaking news. Let me get in news reports and stuff like that. So, right, close you off. Twitter, Little Uzi Vert, Trippy Red. Listen, watch this. Right, Little Uzi Vert. Right, PlayStation 5. Alright, witness news. These are like little things that come up on my Twitter feed and stuff like that. Instagram. Alright. Um, Facebook. Reacted to your comment. This corny YouTube. Right. So this is when I get all of my information feed at. So close this back up. So like I said, this is what we will be getting into starting tomorrow. Right? Peace, people. Enjoy. Let me go over here. Slide out of here.